प्रसीद प्रसीद मातर जगतोऽखिलस्य प्रसीद विश्वेश्वरि पाहि विश्वं त्वमीश्वरी देवी चराचरस्य. O Goddess, who pervade and control the whole universe of moving and non-moving things, please be gracious to us and thus show us the proper way and protect this universe as no one else can do it. So let us begin with our regular congregational prayers. Please join me in reciting this. We offer our salutations to the all-loving being who endows all beings with consciousness. We meditate on the Lord who is the origin of the universe. Lord, thou abidest in all, thou art all, thou assumest all forms, thou art the origin and goal of all, thou art the self of all, thou art existence, knowledge, and bliss. Salutations unto thee. May the world be peaceful. May the wicked become gentle. May all creatures think of mutual welfare. May their minds be occupied with what is spiritual and abiding. May our hearts be immersed in selfless love for the Lord. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Dear friends, today, right from 11 a.m., we have been observing the Holy Mother's birthday with various programs. We had in the morning the worship ritual, lot of nice singing, praising the presence of Divine Mother as Holy Mother in our life. And then we had the flower offering by individuals, and then had partaken the lunch prasad, the offered food, and then we had a very nice video presentation on footsteps of Holy Mother, very inspiring. So now comes a very important aspect of this birthday celebration, which, as you know, Swami Vivekananda emphasized a lot. There should be some thinking, not only just and singing and dancing. That is good, but that should not be limited to that. There should be some thought given to the teachings of Holy Mother, what message we get from her uniquely divine life. So we have today two wonderful scholarly people here who will be presenting those aspects of Holy Mother's life to us. But before that, there will be an opening song on Holy Mother composed by Gwyn Kettle, and she will be also singing it. So please, Gwyn, and she will be accompanied on guitar by Akshaj Arora. You can also join singing, the words are here.
Yeah, good. With Swamiji's permission, I'd like to just say a few words about how this song came to be.
The mic is not working?
Yeah, I think it's on. It's just appropriate. So over 20 years ago, I was here for a retreat when things were smaller here, and on my way home to my family, this song just came into my heart from Mother. And it started with that image that's in the first verse, and the rest just flowed. And I invite, please, all of you or any of you who are willing to sing along, which is why Jitendra did such a good job putting the words up. So.
First bar.
Hmm?
I'll do the first bar.
Yeah. Yep. My mother, you fill my heart. My mother, you fill my heart. Like a flower filled with nectar overflowing all around. Like a flower filled with nectar overflowing all around. We're crying and we're moaning, feeling so alone. We're crying and we're moaning, feeling so alone. But she's shining all around us on the earth and in the air. But she's shining all around us on the earth and in the air. My brothers and my sisters, open up your hearts. My brothers and my sisters, open up your hearts to receive the love she's pouring down on us. To receive the love she's pouring down on us. My mother, I am yours alone. My mother, I am yours alone. No more will I wander. You've come to call me home. No more will I wander. You've come to call me home. She's standing there before me, arms out to receive me. She's standing there before me, arms out to receive me. Tears of joy are spilling over. I'm never more alone. Tears of joy are spilling over. I'm never more alone. Thank you for your help. I'll let you turn it on.
So, dear friends, when we think of the life of Holy Mother, it's a tremendous phenomena. Never before in the history of world anything even close to that has come up. A most ordinary looking woman becomes the automatically, without being officially crowned the head of the spiritual order, and with her tremendous love of a very different kind, she ushered in the powerful waves of spirituality and brought to us all the wisdom to know our true nature, the goal of our life in various different stations of life, how we should guide ourselves. The guidance that comes from Holy Mother is unvaluable. It brings the message right deep into our heart. And so today we shall think about that message with the two wonderful speakers, students of Holy Mother's life, and those who practice this discipline very much in their lives. The first one is Dawn Raphael. She has been coming here very regularly and studies the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, Holy Mother. She is a writer, and so she has spoken in this symposium before too. So I request her to begin her presentation, her ideas about Holy Mother. Then there will be Rajeshwari Bal Subramaniam. She will follow Dawn.
Oh, thank you. That song was really beautiful. So thank you, Swami Yogananda Maharaj, for asking me to speak. I want to thank all of you in advance for listening to me, because I know many of you know a lot more than I do about these topics. So I hope I can offer something of value to you. My talk is about the great practical sense of Holy Mother and the way she lived in the world without ever compromising her spiritual values. I had planned to start this talk in a slightly different way, but yesterday afternoon we all got a shock, yet another reminder of how transitory are our lives in this world, as 2 young lives were lost to violence. And we also got a reminder of the importance and urgency of Holy Mother's wisdom, as she lived in the world with love and profound service, practically, spiritually, and with true purity, and without attachment. So for me, in some ways, Holy Mother is the easiest to try to understand and also the hardest. Because of the Holy Trio, she appeared to lead the simplest and on the surface the most ordinary life. So anyone who had the great good fortune to meet Ramakrishna during his lifetime would never have mistaken him for an ordinary person. He might spontaneously go into samadhi. He was often oblivious of his surroundings. You would never think, oh, he's somebody just like me. And likewise, anyone who encountered Swami Vivekananda would have known they were in the presence of somebody with a towering intellect and a commanding presence. So it took all of 5 words from Swami Vivekananda at the World Parliament of Religions. He got as far as Sisters and Brothers of America before thousands of people in the audience were wildly applauding. In contrast, Sarada Devi initially appeared to be an ordinary woman. People didn't witness her spontaneously losing out her consciousness and going into samadhi. She didn't retreat to a forest or a cave. She didn't fill lecture halls and write books. During the years of her marriage to Ramakrishna, If people saw her at all, and not many people did see her because she was frequently out of sight, but if they did see her, they saw a woman cooking and serving food and washing dishes and acting with utmost propriety, a householder. After Ramakrishna's death, although he made it clear that she was to carry on his work, even some of his direct disciples did not initially recognize the power that lay beneath her serene surface. Hers was a simple and practical life. In his book, Sri Sarada Devi, Swami Gambhirananda notes that one of her childhood companions referred to her as simplicity incarnate. At the age of 5, she was married to Ramakrishna, but seldom saw her husband during her childhood, aside from short periods when she was 7 and 14. Still, those sojourns were profoundly formative. Swami Gambhirananda notes that Ramakrishna spent his time with her, not only molding her character, but patiently teaching her daily proprieties, how to serve the deities, how to interact with guests and family members, how to get into or out of a conveyance. Swami Gambhirananda adds, even such petty matters as trimming lamps, spicing curries, and preparing beetle rolls were not left out of that comprehensive and wonderful curriculum. On first consideration, one might think, well, of course, it would be beneficial to have a practical wife who knew how to manage these tasks. But on the other hand, you have to ask, why would Ramakrishna bother with what Swami Gambhirananda calls petty matters? Why would he get involved with teaching someone how to spice curries? So on a deeper level, this seems to ask us to consider that for Sarada Devi, these seemingly mundane tasks, rather than creating any kind of obstacle to spiritual life, something that should be gotten out of the way as quickly as possible, when these chores were performed with an attitude of renunciation and devotion, they would prove to be a steady, sacred pathway. These tasks were formed meticulously, not only externally, but of crucial importance internally. At the age of 18, Sarada Devi joined her husband in Dakshineswar, having first endured the ridicule of neighbors who claimed her husband was a madman, and then having made the arduous journey on foot despite being in ill health. Upon her arrival, she could see for herself that her husband was not a madman, and she assured him that she was not there to distract, but rather to help him in spiritual life. Although they shared a bed for a time, they maintained a purely non-carnal marriage. Swami Nikhilananda, who was her disciple and the founder of the Ramakrishna Vivekananda Center of New York, would later describe Holy Mother as the ideal wife, ideal mother, and ideal nun. To quote him, the combination of the three in one person is rare indeed. Holy Mother was wedded to Sri Ramakrishna at the age of 5, lived with him as long as he lived, and ministered to his physical needs in the best tradition of a Hindu wife. She was his companion in spiritual life. She demonstrated that wifely devotion and love are possible without demanding physical satisfaction from one's mate. On June 5, 1872, the night of the Kali Puja, when Sarada Devi was still just 18, Ramakrishna secretly worshipped her as Shodashi, the mother of the universe and the beautiful prime of youth. During the puja, they both lost outer consciousness, fully erasing the boundaries between them as he awakened Shakti in her. And yet, after this incredibly momentous event, what did she do? She continued in her quiet, practical life of service. We sometimes get the idea that the only way to be holy is to turn inward in a way that shuts out the world, and perhaps to ignore ordinary customs. Not so with Holy Mother. She arose at 3 a.m. each day to bathe in the Ganges, meditate, and perform her religious duties, and then spent the rest of her waking hours serving her husband, his mother, other family members, and disciples. Simple should never be confused with easy. She herself said there was no end to the cooking, night or day. Often her circumstances were extenuating as she navigated cramped quarters, heat, and her own illnesses. She embodied the great teaching of the Bhagavad Gita as she worked tirelessly, or as we would say now, she was all in. She was in 110%, and yet attached and not attached. Years later in Kasipur, when Ramakrishna's mortal body was dying, it was she who prepared his food and fed him, while at the same time being prepared to take on a new role of leadership. She also cooked for the disciples, yet many of them didn't seem to realize she was there as she kept out of sight. They didn't see her physically, and not all of them saw her spiritual power, not during Ramakrishna's lifetime or directly after. But Swami Vivekananda did. He sought her advice, for instance, in deciding whether to go to America to the World Parliament of Religions, and he was very instrumental in opening the eyes of others to her importance. In 1894, while staying at the home of Mrs. Sarah Bull in Cambridge, Massachusetts, he wrote to Swami Shivananda, "Fie on him who has no devotion to Mother." Later in the letter, he wrote of the urgency of establishing a math for her in India. "You have not yet understood who Ma Thakurani is, none of you, but gradually you will know. Dada, brother, without Shakti, there will be no regeneration for the world." After some further commentary, he continued, "Therefore, I want the math for her first. I am not afraid even if Ramakrishna Parahamsa is not there, but it will be a great disaster if Ma Thakurani leaves, and in brackets, the world. Without the grace of Shakti, nothing can be accomplished." It was in this same letter that Swami Vivekananda wrote the words, "Be the servant if you want to lead," something that Holy Mother, in her calm, quiet way, exemplified as devotees began to flock to her, and something I wish every leader on earth would take to heart. Be the servant if you want to lead. Holy Mother can be a role model for everyone, leaders, householders, those with public lives, and those whose lives may be hidden. Because we often talk about her purity, there is a passage by Swami Nikolananda that I want to point out. This is from his book, Holy Mother, and it illuminates the way that her purity and practicality were perfectly calibrated. That is, rather than purity and practicality being in tension with each other, they became perfectly fused. Swami Nikolananda writes, "She respected the traditions and norms of society. One notices here a difference between Holy Mother and Buddha and Shankara. Buddha repudiated the gods, religious rituals, and the scriptures, and the caste system as obstacles to attaining the freedom of nirvana. Shankara accepted all these as preparatory disciplines for the knowledge of Brahman, which he said could be attained only by monks who renounced the world and went beyond rituals, worship, and social convention. Holy Mother, however, though practicing true renunciation, remained a householder until the end of her life, respected the gods, rituals, and social proprietors." And now he goes into more detail. Generally, Holy Mother obeyed caste rules, but she made exceptions in the case of her disciples, especially about food restrictions. In her opinion, devotees of God belong to a single caste, a spiritual family. About other social matters, she used her discrimination and common sense, and she did not wantonly violate social standards. In most respects, Holy Mother lived as a Hindu widow of the Brahmin caste, though Sri Ramakrishna had assured her that he was not really dead. Swami Nikhilananda goes on to explain that Holy Mother followed some of the strict disciplines expected of Bengali Hindu widows. For example, she was a vegetarian, but unlike a Hindu widow, he writes, she did not cut her hair. She wore gold bracelets, put on a sari with a narrow red border instead of a plain one, and ate a light supper instead of only milk and fruit. I quote, "On many occasions, she did not observe the pollution of food by touch, especially when some of her non-Brahmin women disciples touched her plate. She regarded all her disciples as her own children. For some young widows who were her disciples, she relaxed the strict rules about food, saying to one of them, 'What good will it do to torture the soul?' To another she said, 'If the soul's craving for food is not satisfied, one commits an offense.'" Recently, Swami Yogatmananda offered another great example during his talk in Connecticut. A devotee had undergone many travails and traveled many miles on foot to offer a special rice dish to Holy Mother, arriving in the evening. Although the rule for a widow was not to eat rice in the evening, she chose to accept this devoted offering. Holy Mother knew, respected, and observed rules, but she also wasn't stuck on rigid dogma. Now, to me, this is not an invitation to break rules as it suits us, especially because none of us is Holy Mother. But I think it is a shining example of genuine purity, that just as Holy Mother gave fully while practicing detachment, she never became attached to rules at the expense of the goal. As Swami Nikhilananda put it, she condemned morbid passion for purity. I think the implication is that that kind of passion, morbid passion, is actually a kind of false purity, where we could get so bound up in following rules and orthodoxy that we allow our minds to tell us that now we're right and other people must be wrong, which is an attitude that can lead us to contempt and eventually even fanaticism, something Swami Vivekananda warned against repeatedly. Instead, Holy Mother's practicality, detachment, and discernment made her purity boundless. From a childhood that embodied simplicity to a womanhood that blended selfless service and pure devotion, love came her immortal teaching. I tell you one thing, if you want peace, do not find fault with others. Rather, learn to see your own faults. Learn to make the world your own. No one is a stranger, my child. The whole world is your own.
Thank you.
स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्निर्दाहिका शक्तिः रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिया सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमः श्री यतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। So during one of my very first visits to this Vedanta society, our Swami Yogatmananji Maharaj gave me a photograph, a 3D lenticular picture that you can still find in the bookstore. It's a photograph that contains Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, and Swami Vivekananda. It's a 3D picture where they change into each other. And he told simply that all three are the same. The same? What could that possibly mean? In terms of personality and outward expression, they appear profoundly different. Sri Ramakrishna lived in continual God intoxication. His room overflowed with singing, dancing, and ecstatic joy in the name of the divine. The Holy Mother embodied boundless compassion, patience, and the quiet strength of motherhood. Swami Vivekananda, on the other hand, was strikingly assertive, a blazing fire of renunciation, force, and uncompromising intensity, at times so formidable that even his brother disciples were moved to tears. How then could they be described as same? So did Swamiji mean this in the sense of absolute oneness in Brahman? But in that case, everything is Brahman. All that we perceive is Brahman. If so, in what specific sense was he referring to these three as one? So when Swamiji later asked me to prepare for this symposium, I felt this was the right moment to seek clarity on that statement. And I asked him to explain what he had meant, but with his usual teasing grin, he gently pushed me to work it out for myself. And so I began asking, reading, reflecting, and this is an attempt to integrate all the many perspectives I have encountered. So what I'll share today is that result of that exploration, and I hope at the end of the symposium, Swamiji will clarify what he actually meant by the oneness of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, and Swami Vivekananda. So, Sri Krishna, an incarnation of God, declares in the Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanama dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Which means, whenever righteousness declines and unrighteousness rises, O Bharata, I manifest myself for the protection of the good, the destruction of evil, and the re-establishment of dharma. I appear age after age. In other words, whenever the world, through growth and changing circumstances, requires a new adjustment, a wave of divine power descends to restore balance. Just as a human being functions simultaneously on two planes, the spiritual and material, this divine power also operates on both levels. So that one without a second Brahman, the all-pervading reality, infinite, unchanging existence, consciousness, bliss, this Brahman in its dynamic, creative aspect is referred to as Ishvara. So the very first shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam that we regularly chant here, which says, Janmadhyasya yatonvayadi taratas charteshva bhijñaswarat tene brahma hridaya adi kavaye muhyanti yat surayah. So this defines who this Ishvara is. It says it is the one from whom creation, sustenance, and dissolution of the universe takes place, the one who is both the instrumental and material cause of it. That Ishvara takes a human form in every age, known as the Avatara, to guide and uplift humanity. The significance of an avatar is that it must convey to mankind a sense of that infinite in a tangible manner. In an avatar, there is a happy combination of that supreme divinity and easy accessibility. Swami Vivekananda too, in his lecture on incarnation of Ishvara or God, emphasizes that we cannot see God except through the avatars. We cannot help worshipping them. Indeed, they are the only ones we are bound to worship. No human can truly perceive God except through these human manifestations. As long as we remain human, we cannot conceive of God as anything higher than man. God, understanding this inherent limitation of a human being, becomes man himself to do good to humanity. So in our age, that incarnation of God is Sri Ramakrishna. This incarnation of God, Sri Ramakrishna, is not an individual mystic, but it is a phenomenon. The Ramakrishna phenomenon is the manifestation of a singular spiritual principle operating through three distinct morphological vehicles, that is Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Sarada Devi, and Swami Vivekananda. The unity of this trio is not merely a retrospective construction of the devotees, but a verifiable truth that was asserted by they themselves. Sri Ramakrishna himself, in many instances, which has been recorded in the Gospel, acknowledged himself as an incarnation. The most famous one was recorded by Naren, or the Swami Vivekananda himself. Swami Vivekananda says, Sri Ramakrishna used to consider himself as an incarnation in the ordinary sense of the term. Though I could not understand it, I used to say that he was Brahman in the Vedantic sense. But just before his passing away, when he was suffering from that characteristic difficulty in breathing, he said to me, as I was cogitating in my mind whether he could even in that pain say that he was an incarnation, he said, he who was Rama and Krishna has now actually become Ramakrishna, but not in your Vedantic sense. So, this Ramakrishna, if this Ramakrishna may be seen as the Shruti, the living embodiment of the Upanishadic truth, then the Holy Mother represents Smriti, the practical path through which the truth is lived and sustained, and Swami Vivekananda stands for Nyaya, the faculty of reason and rigorous inquiry. Without even one of these three, the Ramakrishna phenomenon would remain incomplete. Sri Ramakrishna revealed the eternal truths of the scriptures in a form appropriate to the present age. Sri Sarada Devi demonstrated how those truths are to be lived quietly, patiently, in the midst of everyday life. Swami Vivekananda dispelled the doubts of the intellect surrounding these truths through his unparalleled logic, intellectual force, and clarity of expression. Though their outward expressions differed, the state of their realization and the mission for which they descended were one and the same. Their modes of expression were not competing but complementary. Taken together, they form a complete and harmonious manifestation of divinity expressed through human life. So, based on the needs of the age, every incarnation of God manifests a prominent spiritual feature uniquely suited to that time. In the incarnation of Sri Rama, the dominant quality was the ideal of dharma. As Maryada Purushottama, Sri Rama's life exemplified duty, sacrifice, obedience, and unwavering ethical responsibility in every role he assumed. In the incarnation of Sri Krishna, the dominant feature was spiritual wisdom expressed through freedom, play, and mastery of life's complexity. His life effortlessly integrated bhakti, jnana, and karma, while his many leelas revealed that the divine is not bound by rigid rules but acts from perfect awareness and inner freedom. In the present age, through the incarnation of the Holy Trio, the prominent feature is the revelation of the motherhood of God and direct God realization through renunciation. Swami Vivekananda himself observes, whoever, man or woman, will worship Sri Ramakrishna, be he or she ever so low, will be then and there converted into the very highest. Another thing, the motherhood of God is prominent in this incarnation. Sri Ramakrishna used to dress himself as a woman. He was, as it were, our mother. In Sri Ramakrishna, this motherliness overflowed visibly. Many of his direct disciples related to him in a deeply intimate mother-child relationship. His worship of the Divine Mother Kali was not merely a personal devotional inclination, but a demonstration of the motherhood of God. He approached the divine not as a servant or a philosopher, but as a child. His prayers were intimate, spontaneous, and emotionally unguarded. Sri Ramakrishna himself said, "I wept before the mother and prayed, 'O Mother, please tell me, please reveal to me what the yogis have realized through yoga and the jnanis through discrimination.' And the mother has revealed everything to me. She reveals everything if the devotee cries to her with a yearning heart. She has shown me everything that is in the Vedas, the Vedanta, the Puranas, and the Tantra." To him, the Divine Mother was at once the protector, provider, corrector, and ultimate refuge. This lived experience of child-mother relationship made the motherhood of God experientially undeniable to all who came into his presence. Swami Vivekananda once told Sister Nivedita, "The future, you say, will call Ramakrishna Paramahamsa an incarnation of Kali? Yes, I think there's no doubt she worked up the body of Ramakrishna for her own ends. When you love someone, you want to love what they love, who they love. Sri Ramakrishna and Mother Kali cannot be separated." The culminating act of Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual sadhana occurred when he worshipped the Divine Mother of the universe in the person of Sri Sarada Devi. At the conclusion of that worship, he completely surrendered himself to the Divine Mother and, in a supreme act of consecration, offered at her feet the fruits of his austerities, his rosary, his identity, himself, and all that was his. From that moment onward, they were as if one soul functioning in two bodies. Sri Ramakrishna himself spoke of the Holy Mother. She is Sarada, Saraswati. She has come to impart knowledge. She is the communicator of knowledge. On another occasion, when Hriday behaved brashly towards her, Sri Ramakrishna warned him, "If the one residing in this," pointing to himself, "becomes angry with you, you may still have a chance to survive. But if the one residing in her," Sri Sarada Devi, "is displeased with you, even Brahma, Vishnu, or Maheshwara will not be able to protect you." And Holy Mother herself was fully conscious of her divinity and her divine mission. She once said, "This body is divine. Do not make any distinction between Sri Ramakrishna and me. Sri Ramakrishna has left me behind to manifest the motherhood of God to the world." We need no special incidents to testify this manifestation of motherhood of Sri Sarada Devi. Even more than a century after her passing, the sense of motherly presence and grace that we devotees experience stand as a living testimony to her divine manifestation. The marvelous nature of Holy Mother's motherhood was that everyone, regardless of their station in life, monastic or householder, rich or poor, man or woman, young or old, virtuous or wicked, felt her as their very own. Her entire life radiated love for all. That same love uplifted a thief like Amzad, as well as a sannyasin of the caliber of Swami Saradananda. Her departing words best capture how she viewed the world. "Learn to make the whole world your own. No one is a stranger, my child. The whole world is your own." During her time, India was under the harsh oppression of British colonial rule. Yet, despite the cruelty and suffering around her, she said, "Why, those too are my children." Once Swami Arupananda asked her, "Are you the mother of all?" She replied, "Yes." The Swami asked her again, "Are you the mother of these animals as well?" She replied, "Yes, I am also their mother." These and many such incidents show how powerful is the motherhood of the Holy Mother. The fact is that Sri Ramakrishna had left her behind in the world to establish the motherhood of God. While Sri Ramakrishna was Rama and the Holy Mother was Sita, Swami Vivekananda was their Hanuman, one who bore in his heart nothing but love and devotion for his master and the mother. Sri Ramakrishna was both the teacher and shaper of Swami Vivekananda. It was he who transformed Naren into a world teacher, Vivekananda. Over the years, the master carefully prepared him to carry his spiritual message to the world, and Vivekananda devoted his entire life to fulfilling the mission entrusted to him. Near the end of his earthly existence, Sri Ramakrishna called Naren to his side and transmitted all his spiritual treasures to him. He then said, "Today I have given you all and have become a fakir, a penniless beggar. With the powers that I have transmitted to you, you will do immense good in the world, and not until that is accomplished will you return to whence you came." Sri Ramakrishna further affirmed Naren will teach people. Through this final act, the master entrusted the disciple with both his spiritual force and his divine mission, ensuring that his vision and realization would continue to benefit humanity through Vivekananda's life and work. Holy Mother too had a divine vision of Sri Ramakrishna descending into the Ganga, his body dissolving into its sacred waters. She saw Narendra taking the water and sprinkling it everywhere, a prophetic vision of what was soon to unfold. Narendra, as Swami Vivekananda, spreading the Master's universal message far and wide. She began to perceive that the Master lived in his mission and worked through those whom he had made his instruments to fulfill it. Swami Vivekananda himself said, "People love me personally, but they little dream that what they love me for is Ramakrishna. Leaving him, I am only a mass of foolish, selfish emotions." At the end of Sri Ramakrishna's earthly existence, he commissioned Naren to take care for and guide his young brother disciples, preparing them for monastic life by handing them ochre robes and Rudraksha rosaries. After the Master's passing, his spiritual children renounced the world and gathered together briefly in a place, and thereafter, one by one, they wandered about. Seeing their poor condition, Holy Mother's motherly heart could not bear it, and she prayed, "O Lord, you have come, performed your divine play with these few people, enjoyed yourself and gone away. Is everything finished with that? If so, what was the need for you to come, taking so much trouble? I saw in Kashi and Vrindavan so many sadhus who live by begging and dwell under the shade of trees, wandering at will. There never was any dearth of such sadhus. I cannot bear to see my children who have left everything and come away taking your name, wandering around for the sake of few handfuls of food. It is my prayer that those who come away in your name should not lack food and clothing, that all of them stay together, taking you, your memory, and your teachings for their support, and that those who are scorched by the miseries of worldly existence come to them and obtain peace and solace by learning of your life and teachings. This was the purpose of your advent." Thus, through the prayer of Holy Mother, the Ramakrishna order was formed under the leadership of Swami Vivekananda, with Holy Mother as their spiritual guide and mother. The Holy Trio continues their divine mission through this sacred order for centuries to come. Let us always remember that Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, and Swami Vivekananda are three facets of the same divine principles, and that we all have a mother in Holy Mother whose benign gaze protects us physically, mentally, and spiritually. Thank you.
My sincere thanks to both the participants of this symposium for these wonderful, enlightening orations. It is very difficult to speak about Holy Mother, because of the tremendous simplicity that she presents. It appears as if there is nothing to explain and nothing much to think about. She is just like this, and therefore there is not much scope to analyze. So one can spend hours speaking about Swami Vivekananda's wonderful teachings, his commentaries on the Upanishads, and how he brings the practical sense to all of them in present age, his lectures on yoga, his tremendously powerful this invocation to people to come forward and to do the work, so that through work you will find the way to liberate yourselves. So, and with Sri Ramakrishna, a very deep message of highest spiritual and philosophical significance, that religion is matter of deep experience. That is what Sri Ramakrishna told. Holy Mother was unique, that she said everything without saying anything. That is the greatness there, that without Holy Mother, Sri Ramakrishna's and Vivekananda's teachings would not have become so practical. That was the topic that Dawn explained, that how the spiritual life is not a theoretical something that you keep on just thinking about or write articles on that, but it is practicalization. The whole life must become an expression of the highest teachings. Your very breath should become spiritual. Every action should vibrate with that pulsation, that yes, God alone is real, and this all while doing all the works. It is without Holy Mother, we wouldn't have found this the example where one can be intensely involved in the works in the world, and yet every second of it, every moment of it is full of spirituality. Both are together there. It is one thing I would like to mention here that Dawn alluded to, was the tremendous detachment, spirit of detachment, while apparently attached to everything. This attachment alone gives meaning to the detachment. Swami Vivekananda says that a wall is not attached. Does it mean that the wall is greatly spiritual? That is not the meaning of spirituality. There should be all 100% involvement and yet 100% freedom. It is, Mother could withdraw herself at a moment's notice and would do all the work with such intensity, as if it would appear that she is really a worldly person. She is fully worldly and fully divine. That is the teaching that we have to have, that working in the world should never ever affect our spiritual awareness. work 100%. We speak of the so many problems in this worldly life that we have. Talk to anybody, will give a long list of never-ending difficulties in the world. Oh, this is happening with me these days, my health is not good, and my parents, they are getting very frustrated. My children are going through many difficulties, and then there are the financial problems. My job is on wire, and never-ending problems, It is all those will be there. And who doesn't have those? Everybody has. But still, this fact should never be ignored, that yet I am spirit. In spite of all these things, I am spirit. I am Atman, which is the truth, friends. And let that get expressed, that I am divine, I am God. And that's, you see, in Holy Mother, everything is divine. And see the tremendous sense of practicality. One very beautiful example, that it is once the whole party was traveling, and then they had to stop and have a supper. So they had brought rice and lentils in a pot, and after pouring some water and other spices, put it on fire. Now that was an earthen pot. Normally it cooks very well in an earthen pot. But that evening things were in for some testing time. So the pot broke. Imagine now, there is no other food available as such in the middle of the forest. Not that there were Taco Bell and whatever near there. It is in that middle of that on the street. So now they hold that khichdi. Khichdi, what we had, for our offering today, that khichdi was done, and the pot broke. So now everybody was what to do, the misfortune now, the world is coming to an end and so forth, all bad omens and all such things. Most impractical, meaningless, unhelpful blabbering. Holy Mother comes forward, starts, using one piece of that very broken earthen pot to collect all that khichdi from the ground, the upper layers, which were quite clean, took it all, and then took a leaf from a nearby tree, put some of it, that khichdi, on that leaf, offered to Sri Ramakrishna there. See, imagine, offered to Sri Ramakrishna, praying with sincere yearning and heart there, lot of that feelingfulness. Master, this is the arrangement today. Today you have made the arrangements like that, so you have to take food like this, and offered so feelingfully. And then everybody was given prasad, Holy Mother, as she was eating. Imagine this scene, friends, she was eating and exclaimed, "Oh, this khichdi tastes so nice." That is, see, the sense of practicality. It is, you won't see much of this in the life of Sri Ramakrishna and Vivekananda. The Vedantic teachings, without any distortion, without any compromise, are fully implemented in practice. It is this very simple teaching that has been alluded to, that if you want peace of mind, do you want what? Raj, do you want peace of mind? What, Leela, do you want peace of mind? No? Yes, you want peace of mind. What, anybody says, no, I don't want peace of mind? You don't want, Akshay? You want, yeah. So everybody wants peace of mind. And how to get it? Very practical, very simple, and very efficacious. It is 1,000 philosophies on how to get peace of mind are kind of compressed into this one very practical, great statement. Don't see the faults of others. Don't see. What happens when you see the faults of others? Your mind gets agitated. Why? Oh, this. And it never ends. You cannot correct that person. The result is only that your agitation increases. So don't see the faults of others. Do you get paid for that? Leela was telling me, because she has to grade the students or whatever may be. Yeah, for that purpose it's okay. It is because you are being paid for that. Otherwise, to find the faults of others, you don't get paid for that job. Why do you want to undertake that unnecessary, thankless job? Don't do it, causing more agitation into you. So, a simple thing, if you want peace of mind, don't see the faults of others and see your own faults. There is some possibility of applying correction there. It is, see your own faults. Is there lack of faults in you? There are plenty of them if you want to see. And then there is possibility of applying some correction. But if we don't do that, then no peace of mind. This is both ways it cuts, If you do this, peace of mind is assured. If you don't do this, do not have even hope of peace of mind. This is so simple and clear. And Holy Mother is the example of that everybody is accepted. Nobody is rejected at all. In Connecticut, she alluded to my talk in Connecticut. I told one very nice incident. How everybody is accepted, everybody is guided on a practical path. That one man wrote that he has to do a job. In his job, he has to tell lies. Should he quit the job? But he said he doesn't want to quit the job either, because he is the only breadwinner in the family. What should he do? Holy Mother thought about it. She did not immediately give an answer. She thought deeply on it, and after a few minutes told to write the answer. Tell him not to leave his job. The one who was writing the letter for Holy Mother was shocked. That, should he thus be, you are telling him to tell lies? And then Holy Mother said, now, see, he is only telling lies in the job. If he loses the job, if he gives up the job to fill the hole in the stomach, to feed the family, he may commit robberies, he may commit many other sins. So, telling lies is bad. There are things which are worse. So what do you choose? Answer is no-brainer, simple. Choose the lesser of the evils. So Holy Mother is so practical. This village woman, unlettered, but see the tremendous wisdom that flows through her teachings. It is, and we require that. Rajeshwari was telling about that intimate oneness, intrinsic oneness of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother and Vivekananda. This great trio, 3 in 1, 1 in 3. So, and she said that what she got it from me, I don't know, but her talk was so beautiful, I don't have a word to add to it. It is this oneness, the 3 shades, 3 aspects of the same truth that we require. They, Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother and Vivekananda, they furnish together these things in our life. It is our blessing, friends. In this age, although called the dark age of, say, Kali Yuga, it has still never before this kind of power was unleashed, that Holy Mother unleashed, the power of womanhood. There is a very big misunderstanding about the power of womanhood. Many think that being flamboyant and aggressive and showy, that makes women count in this world. Holy Mother was completely, totally opposite message by being bashful, being hiding behind, and yet she made the whole community come to her. She doesn't have to aggressively go anywhere, never gave lectures. It was a very telling incident in Madras, Chennai now, that many ladies came thinking that Holy Mother has come. Swami Vivekananda also reveres her as his guru. So she must be giving lot of lectures. And so asked that, hey, when is her lecture? And they were kind of, depressed that when they heard that Holy Mother doesn't give lectures. Holy Mother doesn't need to give lectures. We give lectures without actually communicating anything. Only loud noise. Holy Mother does not need it. It goes straight to your heart. No need of giving any lecture. Who can understand this tremendous power? This is what Swami Vivekananda says about arousing of this woman power. The Shakti. Shakti is always hidden. That you never see Shakti as such. You see only the function of Shakti, the power that makes this happen. So this is a great lesson that one derives from Holy Mother's wonderful life that brought the tremendous dignity to whole humanity, but especially to womanhood. So we discussed many such wonderful things today, and again I thank Dawn and Rajeshwari for these discourses that they gave, and we shall conclude with the closing prayer. But before that, let me tell you the programs coming up. In coming week, the Tuesday, Friday classes will go on as usual. And then on December 21st, next Sunday, the topic of discussion is "We are one in the Spirit." So, and then on 24th of December, the Christmas Eve, we will have a very special program in the evening, and that please come for that as well. So, the closing prayer. And after this, the Holy Mother's birthday celebration almost complete, but there will be the Sankirtan. In the name of Holy Mother would be sung by all together, Sankirtan. So many of you, I hope, can continue for that. It is so closing prayers. May the Divine, who is Father in heaven of the Christians, Holy One of the Jewish faith, Allah of the Muslims, Buddha of the Buddhists, Tao of the Taoists, Great Spirit of the Native Americans, Ahur Mazda of the Zoroastrians, and Brahman of the Hindus, lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. May the all-loving being manifest himself unto us and grant us abiding understanding and all-consuming divine love. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Yesterday, there were two very violent events. One right here, just about 100 yards from this place. There was a gunfire in which 2 brown students lost their lives and 9 got hurt. So, and then just after that, there was killing in Australia, far away, a result of the terrible fanaticism, anti-Semitism, that 11 or more Jewish people were killed when they were observing Hanukkah, so in Australia. So let us pray for the victims and let us feel that the spirit of tolerance or acceptance, better word is that, spread throughout the world so that such incidents will at least be reduced, if not eliminated. Thank you, friends. The Sankirtan will happen in the other hall. Of course, you can join it from here as well. And then there will be the prasad distribution.
विकाश पादाम्भोज सुशोभना शुक्लाम्बरधरां धीरां लज्जापटविभूषितां प्रसन्नां धर्मकामार्थ मोक्षदां विश्वमङ्गलां स्वनात्वामभागस्थां भक्तानुग्रहकारिणी ॐ सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपिण्यै श्रीशारदा देव्यै नमः ब्रह्मसनातनी मा शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मा त्वं मे ब्रह्मसनातनी मा शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मा ब्रह्मानन्दस्वरूपिणी मा ब्रह्मशक्तिसुखदायिनी मा सच्चित्सुखमयरूपिणी मा सृष्टिस्थितिलयकारिणी मा ब्रह्मसुधां बुद्धिकेलिनी मा ब्रह्मात्मैक्यशुभङ्करी मा जीवेश्वरभित्कौतुकी मा अगाधलीलारूपिणी मा त्वं मे ब्रह्मसनातनी मा शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मा चिन्मयरूपविलासिनी मा बहिरान्तरसुखवर्धिनी मा ज्ञानानन्दप्रवर्षिणी मा दिव्यरसामृतवर्षिणी मा मूलाधारनिवासिनी मा सहस्रारशिवसङ्गिनी मा आद्यशक्तिस्वरूपिणी मा चितिसुखदायिनी तारिणी मा त्वं मे ब्रह्मसनातनी मा शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मा शुभमतिदायिनी शाङ्करी मा दुर्गतिदुर्मतिनाशिनी मा महाकालरिदिनर्तिनी मा जीवशिवान्तरवर्तिनी मा जगज्जननी जयदायिनी मा तडिलसितसौदामिनी मा सीतारामाकारिणी मा कृष्णराधिकारूपिणी मा त्वं मे ब्रह्मसनातनी मा शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मा कमनीयाकृतिधारिणी मा भवसागरभयहारिणी मा शान्तिसौख्यचिरदायिनी मा क्षान्ति कान्ति महागुणवर्षिणि मा कान्तिवराभयदायिनि मा गिरिशाङ्कोपरिवासिनि मा हरार्दनारीरूपिणि मा नटनमहेश्वरसङ्गिनि मा त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनि मा शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मा हर हर्षोत्करि नर्तिनि मा शारदेश्वरि षोडशि मा साधकमानसशोधिनि मा सर्वसुभाग्यप्रसादिनि मा गुहगजमुखजनिदायिनि मा एकानेकविभागिनि मा हिमगिरिनन्दिनि लासिनि मा सर्वचराचरसर्जिनि मा त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनि मा शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मा सर्वभवामयवारिणि मा सर्वजगत्त्रयसाक्षिणि मा निखिलाधीश्वरि योगिनि मा एलागन्धसुकेशिनि मा चिन्मयसुन्दररूपिणि मा परमानन्दतरङ्गिणि मा रम्यकान्तिचिरधारिणि मा समस्तसुगुणाभूषणि मा त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनि मा शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मा सत्कतिसन्मतिदायिनि मा भवतारिणि करुणेश्वरि मा त्रिपुरे सुन्दरि मोहिनि मा ब्रह्माण्डोदरधारिणि मा प्रेमानन्दप्रवर्षिणि मा सर्वचराचरपालिनि मा भुवनचतुर्दशप्रसविनि मा नानालीलाकारिणि मा त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनि मा शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मा विविधविभूतिविधारिणि मा ज्ञानालोकप्रदायिनि मा विश्वक्रीडाकौतुकी मा विश्वाधिष्ठितचिन्मयि मा मन्दस्मितस्मरहारिणि मा भक्तानुग्रहकारिणि मा योगभोगवरदायिनि मा शान्तिसुधादिस्यन्दिनि मा त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनि मा शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मा विषहारिणि मा कान्तियोगसुख फलदायिनी मा वीरनरेन्द्रप्रहर्षिणि मा समाधिचिरचितिदायिनी मा वीर्यबलाभयकारिणि मा तापत्रयभयहारिणि मा सर्वोत्तुङ्गसुवासिनि मा प्रसन्नवरदे भैरवी मा त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनी मा शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मा हवन जपार्चन साधिनि मा चण्डासुरखलघातिनि मा सकलदेव जय साधिनि मा दुष्टमुण्डवधकारिणि मा चामुण्डेश्वरि दर्पिणि मा माहिषदर्पविनाशिनि मा माहेश्वरसुखवर्धिनि मा महिषासुरखलमर्दिनि मा त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनी मा शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मा त्रिगुणत्रिलोकत्रिरूपिणि मा निर्गुणसगुणविचित्रिणि मा कारितध्यानानन्दिनि मा दर्पणचित्तविभासिनि मा चेतोदर्पणकाशिनि मा नवनवरूपसुदर्शनि मा समस्तलोकोद्धारिणि मा रामकृष्णनवरूपिणि मा त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनी मा शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मा धर्मग्लानिविनाशिनि मा धर्मस्थापनकारिणि मा रम्यसहजपथदर्शिनि मा मातृभावसुखशोधिनि मा निर्मलभक्तोत्कर्षिणि मा दिव्याद्भुतचरितार्थिनि मा रामकृष्णसहधर्मिणि मा जय रामाख्यसुवाटिनि मा त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनी मा शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मा मृगकेसरि वरवाहिनि मा दुर्गहिमाचलनन्दिनि मा नरेन्द्रहृदयनिवासिनि मा लोकोत्तरकृतिदर्शिनि मा सुन्दररूपविकासिनि मा दिव्यगुणाकरधारिणि मा दुर्बलसबलसुकारिणि मा दुःखदैन्यभयनाशिनि मा त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनी मा शारदैश्वरि सुभगे मा सर्वभूतहितसाधिनि मा समस्तलोकाभयकरि मा दुर्गतिनाशिनि दुर्गे मा नारायणि जगदाद्ये मा जय 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 जगदाद्ये मा नारायणि जय दुर्गे मा जय 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 जगदाद्ये मा नारायणि जय दुर्गे मा जय 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 जगदाद्ये मा नारायणि जय दुर्गे मा जय 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 जगदाद्ये मा नारायणि नारायणी जय दुर्गे माँ जय 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 जगदाते माँ नारायणी जय दुर्गे माँ जय 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 जगदाते माँ नारायणी जय दुर्गे माँ त्वं मे ब्रह्म सनातनी माँ शारद ईश्वरी सुभगे माँ यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिया सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्
So we shall meditate for about 5-7 minutes and then go down for the supper.